And speaking of headaches, former disgraced NBA referee Tim Donahue gave great insight to his situation, because whatever he says, we should always look at it with a keen eye, because he's not really as credible. But when he talks about his personal situation and the way the league went about it, this is interesting, the insight that he gave. You guys check it out.
That they need to get gambling under control, and I think that he's going to continue to try to figure out a way to put a lid on this, but it's going to be very difficult for him, because I think this is widespread. I think it's going to be very damaging to the league. And, I just received a text message from one of the FBI agents that worked my case, and he basically said that they're not going to be able to cover this up like they covered up my case. I think the David Stern was able to basically put a lid on it and paint me as one bad apple, the only guy involved, and nobody else did anything but me. And
that sounds very familiar, the way he handled the Malice in the Palace. As we all eventually found out that from the legal side, it was found that most of the players involved in the melee, they were actually not at fault. The arena did not hire enough security, and the players were actually under major duress, especially Jermaine O'Neal. He took the league all the way to court. But at the time, David Stern was trying to make examples of certain players, as he was trying to craft the league's image away from a lot of the early 2000s, I would say, thugged out hip hop. The Allen Iverson effect. He was trying to get rid of that aura, the dress code. And remember, the NBA around that time, they did not have the TV money that they have now. So sometimes guys get caught up with talking bad about David Stern implementing that rule. But now we see the fruits of that labor with the league just keep getting larger and larger deals, because them corporate sponsors are not going to support the league if they present a certain aura. And we can see it play out no further than just social media in general. Everyone that's getting advertisements or just any kind of brand deals, they have to put up a certain image. They can't talk about certain topics. So the NBA was under the same type of microscope if they want to keep getting the bigger and bigger deals.
We're going to move on from it. The FBI said that there was 6 or 7 other people that they wanted to indict, and this got shut down from the highest level. And then I find out, after I go to jail, that, a guy by the name of Greg Andres, who was the head of the Eastern District of New York, took a job at a law firm and all of a sudden got all the outside legal counsel work for the NBA. So, it was a situation where David Stern really ran that whole investigation, and it got shut down by the, highest level people in regard to other people being involved.
Hey, my man David Stern ruled the NBA with an iron fist. Hey, he played his cards right. At the end of the day, Tim Donahue should have never been in that situation to begin with, completely compromising the credibility of the NBA. But this time around, Adam Silver is dealing with social media, and we are in the informational age. So finessing out of situations like that is going to be very hard to come by. Even right now, he's trying to tap dance his way out of the Steve Ballmer situation, even though on paper, this looks like it could be over a $500 million cap circumvention. Like, he spent $500 million just to pay Kawhi a couple $100 million. So you got independent creators like Pablo Torre taking advantage of the media landscape, being able to publish that and broadcast it to a mass audience. And that's something that wasn't available before, when David Stern was dealing with the league and the Tim Donahue gambling situation. And last but not least, there is a clutch sports dynamic to this whole situation, as people are questioning why Damian Jones was not necessarily part of the Lakers, but was still getting inside information in regards to the team. Now, LeBron James and Clutch Sports are a very powerful organization, make no mistake about it, because they even got Damian Jones a job on ESPN, where he was actually crafting LeBron's image, speaking very highly of him and just defending all the naysayers on First Take. Even when Darvin Ham was hired as the Lakers coach, we come to find out it's almost as if it was forced, but Damian Jones was kind of pointed to be one of the advisors on the team, even though they have no prior relationship. And Chauncey Billups, after being arrested, was wearing a Clutch Sports shirt. I'm wondering, what is he trying to bat signal to the viewing audience, or even LeBron James himself? And Jeff Teague right here gives us great insight to how powerful LeBron James and Clutch Sports are. Keep in mind, LeBron is backed up by the NBA, Nike, Warner Brothers, the parent company of TNT, and also an outside company out in London that's responsible for major Hollywood productions. Anytime you see these highly produced late night shows or even certain movies, the same company, I believe it's Fullwell 73. You fellas can go ahead and look that up. It's a pretty powerful production company. That's really what makes LeBron James the GOAT. It's an off the court thing. The way he's handled his business, put his friends in proper position, the way he's aligned himself to make money even after he leaves the game. It's really something worth truly to be said. It's something that he doesn't get enough credit for. But you guys check out what Jeff Teague had to say about LeBron's powerful backers. And every once in a while, I'll check in.
But bro, the moment I said anything, anytime you say anything about Bron, people call you and say, hey man, you might want to chill. I know you got some funny stories and shit. Hey, leave LeBron alone. I'm like, God damn.
Okay.
I came on here and apologized. Sorry. I'm talking these some real people. Like, you know what I mean? Like, hey, nigga. You funny, nigga. And you getting a little too funny. All right, my fault, brother. So I know ain't nothing getting by they whole camp. They run the league. They whole camp run the league.
Yeah, bro. They too plugged in. For somebody not to know an inkling or something, I ain't say they do an all-out play. I just feel like somebody, bro. If not, then that's one of the most...
Rich Paul, AD agent.
Yeah. That's one of the most covert operations in NBA history.
You gotta know.
Covert, get the fuck out of here. This shit's been fairly obvious for years. Even the way AD went to the Lakers. I'm surprised other teams ain't called for an investigation for player tampering. Get out of here, man. Come on. What are we talking about here? It's fairly obvious. LeBron went to LA and LA became Clutch Sports Central.
Somebody knew something. I don't know who, what, but somebody knew something. Even if they didn't know it was going to happen, when, what, where, why, somebody knew something, bro.
It looks like Damian Jones fucked up. He got some inside information, and the feds got the text and everything. Him saying, you know, to place bets, LeBron is not playing, he's out sick. And even one time he tried to do it again, and it didn't work. The Lakers end up winning, or the bet didn't go the gambler's way, and then he end up telling them, hey, you win some, you lose some. So it is what it is. The NBA hasn't reached that point where they need enough Tylenols because the money is definitely worth the headache. So that's all I have for today. You fellas definitely hit up the link in the description below. Check out the NBA True Stories playlist and also my NBA Hardwood Nuance playlist. There's definitely a lot of dope stuff in there. And until next time, you fellas stay safe. Peace.